You want to know if the updated 2026 Nissan Pathfinder is almost perfect? Well, pull up a chair, grab a coffee, and let's have an honest conversation about it, because I have spent enough time with this machine to tell you exactly where it shines and where it tries to hide its dirty laundry. We are living in a world where every manufacturer is trying to sell you a spaceship on wheels, promising you the moon and the stars with hybrid systems that require a degree in engineering to understand and touch screens that look like they belong in a cinema rather than a dashboard. But the Pathfinder has always been that old friend from high school who maybe didn't become a tech billionaire, but has a steady job, a strong handshake, and always shows up when you need help moving a couch. And now, for 2026, that friend has gone to the gym, bought a nicer suit, and finally upgraded their old flip phone to a smartphone. But does that make him perfect? That is exactly what we are going to figure out. And trust me, by the end of this, you will know exactly if this is the car you want to put in your driveway, or if you should keep walking toward the Toyota dealership. Let's start with the face, because that is the first thing you see. Nissan calls this a restyling, a refresh, a facelift. In the car world, that usually means they changed the plastic on the bumper and added a new paint color. And to be honest, that is mostly what happened here. But it works. The 2026 model wears a new grille that is wider, more confident. It has lost some of that excessive chrome that made the previous version look a bit like it was trying too hard to be a luxury barge. Now, it looks purposeful. There is a new color called Baltic Teal that is absolutely stunning in the sunlight. It shifts from a deep, moody green to a bright ocean blue depending on how the light hits it. It is the kind of color that makes you look back at the car when you park it. But let's not get carried away by paint. Underneath that new makeup, the bones are the same. It is still a big, boxy crossover that is trying very hard to remind you of the rugged Pathfinders of the 90s. Even though we all know this is a unibody family hauler that will spend 99% of its life on pavement. And you know what? That is fine, because it looks good. It looks tough enough to handle a gravel driveway, but refined enough to not look out of place at a valet stand. Now, I have to talk about the interior, because this is where the real drama was. If you drove the 2025 model, you probably noticed that the screen looked like it was stolen from a museum exhibit on early 2000s technology. It was small, the resolution was grainy, and it just felt cheap in a car that cost $40,000 or $50,000. Well, Nissan listened. Finally, every single trim level of the 2026 Pathfinder, from the base model all the way up to the Platinum, now comes with a massive 12.3-inch touchscreen. And it is not just big, it is good. The graphics are crisp, the colors are vibrant, and the response time is actually fast enough that you don't have to press the button and wait for a written invitation for the menu to change. It changes the entire feel of the cabin. You sit down, and suddenly, the car feels modern. It feels like it belongs in 2026. They have also added wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard across the board, which is one of those things that once you have, you can never go back to using a cable. You just get in, your phone connects, your music starts playing, and your map is right there on that big, beautiful screen. It is seamless. Speaking of phones, they did something clever with the wireless charger. Usually, wireless chargers in cars are useless. They heat your phone up until it shuts down, and they barely add 1% of battery after an hour of driving. Nissan put in a new magnetic charger that actually has a cooling fan built into it. A cooling fan for your phone. It pushes 15 watts of power, which is genuinely fast, and it holds your phone in place so it doesn't go sliding across the cabin every time you take a corner a little too enthusiastically. It is a small detail, but it shows that someone at Nissan was actually using the car and got annoyed by the same things we get annoyed by. That is the kind of engineering I appreciate. But let's talk about the seats, because if you are buying a family hauler, you are going to be spending a lot of time in them. The front seats in the Pathfinder are fantastic. Nissan calls them zero-gravity seats. And I don't know about the science behind that name, but I do know that I can drive this thing for 4 hours straight and get out without my back feeling like it has been twisted into a pretzel. In the Platinum trim, you get this semi-aniline leather with a new quilting pattern that looks and feels like it belongs in a car costing twice as much. It is soft, it smells expensive, and it makes you feel special. The second row is also great, especially if you get the captain's chairs. There is plenty of room, you have your own climate controls. And the removable center console is a neat trick if you need to pass through to the third row. Ah, the third row. This is where the almost perfect narrative hits a speed bump. If you have small children, they will be fine back there. They have USB ports, they have cup holders, they have air vents. But if you try to put a full-grown adult back there, they are going to hate you. The floor is high, The seat cushion is low, and unless you are very short, your knees are going to be greeting your chin. It is tight. If you compare this to a Honda Pilot or the massive Toyota Grand Highlander, the Pathfinder loses this battle. Those cars have third rows where an adult can actually sit comfortably. In the Pathfinder, the third row is a sometimes seat. It is for emergencies or for the kids' friends, but it is not a place you want to put your mother-in-law unless you are trying to send a message and cargo space behind that third row. It is okay, but it is not class-leading. You can fit a few grocery bags or a couple of carry-on suitcases, but if you are taking 7 people on a road trip, you are going to need a roof box. Now, let's press the start button and see what happens. Under the hood, we still have the 3.5-liter V6 engine. In a world where everyone is switching to turbocharged 4 cylinders, this naturally aspirated V6 feels like a dinosaur. But it is a good dinosaur. It makes 284 horsepower or 295 if you get the Rock Creek edition, and it sounds good. It has that classic V6 growl when you step on it. It is paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission, and thank goodness for that. Remember the old Pathfinders with the CVT transmission? The one that droned and moaned and felt like it was slipping all the time? That nightmare is gone. The 9-speed shifts crisply. It finds the right gear when you need it, and it makes the car feel punchy. Merging onto the highway is easy. You put your foot down, the transmission drops a couple of gears, the engine revs up, and you are moving. It is not a sports car, obviously. It is a 2-ton family bus, but it never feels slow. However, there is a catch. The fuel economy, because it is a big V6 without any hybrid assistance. It is thirsty. In the city, you are going to see numbers in the high teens or low 20s if you are lucky. On the highway, it gets better, maybe mid-20s. But if you compare this to a Toyota Highlander Hybrid which can get 35 miles per gallon effortlessly, the Pathfinder feels a bit wasteful. You will be visiting the gas station more often, and that hurts your wallet over time. But the trade-off is towing. The Pathfinder is a beast when it comes to towing. It can pull 6,000 pounds. Most of the competition tops out at 5,000 if you have a boat or a decent-sized camper. The Pathfinder is one of the few crossovers in this class that can actually handle it without feeling like it is going to rip itself apart. That extra 1,000 pounds of capacity is a big deal for a lot of people, and it is the main reason to choose this engine over a hybrid. Let us talk about the Rock Creek edition for a minute, because that is the cool off-road version. It looks great. It has the tubular roof rack, the aggressive tires, the special front bumper. It looks like it is ready to conquer the Rubicon Trail. But here is the truth. Unless you actually live on a dirt road, think twice. Those aggressive all-terrain tires look tough, but on the highway, they sing. And not a nice song. It is a constant drone that penetrates the cabin. At 40 miles per hour, it is noticeable. At 70 miles per hour, it is annoying. The regular Pathfinder is quiet, impressively quiet. Actually, Nissan did a great job with sound insulation, but the Rock Creek undoes all that hard work with those tires. Plus, the suspension is a bit stiffer, so you feel the bumps more. If you just want the look, fine, but know that you are sacrificing comfort for style. Driving the regular Pathfinder, though, is a pleasant experience. It is not sporty like a Mazda CX-90. The steering is light and doesn't give you much feedback, but it is easy. You can steer it with one finger in a parking lot. The ride is smooth, it soaks up potholes and expansion joints really well. It feels substantial. You feel safe in it. And speaking of safety, the tech in this car is impressive. The ProPilot Assist system is one of the better ones on the market. On the highway, it keeps you centered in your lane and maintains distance from the car in front smoothly. It doesn't jerk the wheel or slam on the brakes unexpectedly. It reduces the fatigue of long drives significantly. And for 2026, they added some new camera tricks. There is something called Invisible Hood View. It uses the cameras to stitch together an image of what is directly underneath the front wheels, which is displayed on the screen as if the hood were made of glass. Is it a gimmick? Mostly. But if you are trying to park in a tight garage with a high curb or navigate a tricky driveway, it is actually really useful. You can see exactly where your wheels are. So, where does that leave us? Is the updated 2026 Nissan Pathfinder almost perfect? No. Perfection implies no flaws, and the Pathfinder has flaws. The third row is too small for adults. The fuel economy is mediocre compared to hybrid rivals. The styling, while improved, is still safe rather than revolutionary. But, and this is a big but, it gets the important stuff right. It has a proven engine and transmission that won't leave you stranded. It has a towing capacity that beats the competition. It has an interior that is now genuinely nice to spend time in, with technology that actually works and doesn't frustrate you. It is quiet, comfortable, and easy to live with. If you are the kind of person who needs to carry 8 adults regularly, buy the Grand Highlander or a minivan. If you are obsessed with getting 40 miles per gallon, buy the Highlander Hybrid. But if you want a car that feels a bit more old school in the best way possible, solid, powerful, capable, while still having the modern tech you actually use, the Pathfinder is a fantastic choice. It feels like a car that respects you. It doesn't beep at you unnecessarily. It doesn't hide the climate controls in a touchscreen menu. There are real knobs for volume and temperature. Thank goodness. It balances the digital and the analog beautifully. Ultimately, the 2026 Pathfinder is not trying to be a spaceship. It is trying to be a really good car. And in a market full of overcomplicated, overpriced gadgets, there is something incredibly refreshing about that. It is a significant improvement over the model. It replaces fixing the one glaring issue, that terrible old screen, while keeping everything that made it good. It is a competent, comfortable, and handsome machine that fits into family life without demanding that you change your lifestyle to suit it. And while it might not be perfect for a lot of families, it is going to be exactly what they need. It is the almost perfect solution for the person who values capability and comfort over trends and gimmicks. So, go test drive one. Sit in those zero-gravity seats, connect your phone to that big new screen, and see if it doesn't just feel right. Just maybe skip the rock creak unless you really love the sound of tire drone in the morning. That is the reality of the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. It is a car that has matured, refined itself, and confidently taken its place at the table. It might not be the loudest or the flashiest guest at the dinner party, but it is the one you will probably end up talking to the longest, and definitely the one you would trust to drive you home. And in the end, isn't that exactly what you want from a family SUV? A reliable partner for the chaos of daily life? Nissan has done good work here. They didn't reinvent the wheel, they just polished it until it shined. And sometimes that is better than perfection.